For the record, I'm not a climber. I'm not a diver. I'm a student, though, of nature, and I'm a student of those who do climb, those who do dive. And nature, climbing, the people who decide that they are going to reach the top of that mountain, that they are going to see what is in the deepest part of that cave or in this ocean. Well, they teach us a lot about life. One important lesson I've learned is that mountains, nature in general, cannot be conquered. A mountain can be climbed, but it cannot be conquered. So, knowing a power that is greater than you, knowing when to surrender, well, that's strength. That's strength, not weakness. And what that strength leads to, it leads to respect. Respect for what is greater than you. And that respect can bring you exhilarating joy. And a lack of respect can lead to a very, very painful consequence. Lesson number 2. Climbers, for instance, can solo climb or they can climb with another person or other people. And climbers who climb in teams, they will tether themselves to one another. And this will enable them to move, let's say, across a glacier a lot faster. Now, imagine the trust that this takes, because tethering and climbing, if one person who is in that group that's tethered to you, if that person slips and falls, then somebody else who is tethered on that team has to pull out an ice axe, whatever they have, and try and stop that fall. Because when one person falls, unless another person can break the momentum of that fall, the whole team falls. So you see the trust that it takes? Trust that your teammates have done what they are supposed to do, meaning that they are prepared mentally and physically, not only to climb this rock, but to stop the momentum of the fall of another teammate. And if that teammate or teammates are able to stop the momentum of the fall, then they're dealing with an injured teammate and they themselves are likely to be injured. So what to do? I've seen climbers get an injured climber to a safe part of the mountain and then continue to descend that mountain so that they could send help back for the other climber. And that climber who is injured, who's stuck on that rock, depending on his or her teammates, has the duty of keeping him or herself alive until help arrives. Teamwork takes work. It takes trust and it takes sacrifice. Now, a lot of you may hear this and say, well, if I were a climber, I would be a solo climber. That way, I don't have to deal with another person possibly falling and pulling me off of this rock with them. And that's the last lesson that I wanted to talk about, going solo. See, sometimes you think, I can actually get across that glacier faster if I do it myself. I understand the value of teamwork, but there are some mountains, there are some rocks, there are some glaciers that you need to climb and cross by yourself, because you know what you are capable of, and you don't want to have to worry about falling off of that rock because somebody else slipped, because somebody else hesitated, because somebody else wasn't paying attention, or just because they had a moment of bad luck. Your focus is on the top of that mountain, and you know that you have done the work that needs to be done to get you from the bottom to the top and back to the bottom safely again. You're careful. You packed flares. You can send out for help. The people who love you, care about you, invested in you, they are at the bottom of that rock rooting for you, and they have their eyes pointed toward the sky. If there's an emergency and you have to send up one of those flares, then the people who love you, they'll help you come down off of that rock or reach the top of it. So climbing solo does not mean that you are solo. The people who invested in you, those who clap for you, root for you, who want you to succeed, they are there at the bottom of that mountain, and they will respond. They will respond if you send up a flare or an emergency call, whether it is to come through and help you get to the top or to safely descend. That team of people is a part of your solid foundation and your preparedness, your skill, the mastery of that skill. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, share this video, and leave a comment.